Hi, everyone. Let me see if it refreshed on here as well. All right, awesome. I'm
Hi,
here.
everyone. Let me see if it refreshed.
Okay. All right, welcome to the Originals Buzz live stream chat. This is actually episode 3, which it should be episode 4, but last week I was a little down and out and sick, so it happens. But anyway, hey, woo! Everybody's tuning in. Okay, so just to recap and do a quick thing since we have so much to talk about because tonight's episode is going to be amazing. I don't know if you guys are ready or not. I don't even know if I am, but I'm excited, pretty excited. So last week's episode, first off, Charles Michael Davis was amazing. Most of you have probably watched that episode. If you haven't, do so. It was great. So also, and on top of that, it gave the originals like a season high in viewership. So, which personally, I think any show that concentrates on the originals does that. That's just my theory. I've noticed that since the past couple of seasons. Woo! All right. So we got more people loading in. So now we know Finn's all out there still going crazy and doing his little thing, but now he has Marcel, according to what's going to come up this week. I'm kind of fearing for that, but in a good way, because as you remember back at the end of season 1, Klaus compelled Marcel to forget about Baby Hope. So he shouldn't have any of that information. I'm hoping he doesn't, but I don't know. Mythology changes on these shows all the time. So it could be another loophole that we're coming up on just to make it more interesting. I would love it. So we'll see. Yes, the big thing for tonight is going to be Klaus going up against Jackson. I personally don't think that he's going to kill him as of right now. I do think they're going to go toe to toe. In a good television sense, for me, I would love to see them go at it after the wedding ceremony, because if it does work, it will be hybrid versus hybrid. And we really haven't seen that since Tyler came over from TVD last season. And I don't know, I kind of like it when Klaus is up against kind of his own, because it gives it just more like, oh my God, he could take him. So I'm excited for that. I do think they are going to have a big confrontation. I still haven't figured Jackson out, you guys. Do you think Jackson is turning heel? Think he's got some secrets? I do. I think it's something else going on with this whole ceremony thing. They're pushing it really quickly. They're wanting to get it done. Grandma's on board 150%. And if you guys have watched from the clip, she already kind of somewhat has an idea of Klaus and the whole, situation with him and Haley. So she's already defensive. So I'm thinking there's some extra stuff there. My question about this ceremony, though, and I know a lot of you are probably asking the same thing, is will it actually work? Because I just kind of feel like if it was that easy to make hybrids or to like kind of absorb power from werewolf to werewolf, it's something that should have been brought up sooner. So I'm kind of hesitant to see if it really will work, or is it more or less kind of like a loophole? And then you have to think about this, like, we don't know. Like, will the whole pack get the power, or just maybe Jackson? Because I can't see a whole pack of alphas. Because technically, if they all go through the ceremony and all of them are hybrids, this, that, or the other, it will kind of be like a little crazy rolling around wolf pack, all hybrids. So I don't know. It just seems like Klaus would have probably already kind of found that loophole because, you know, he was all about hybrids from TVD and then on. He was trying to make them by any means necessary. If you guys watch TVD, you know that. So, climb which man tree? Jackson or Klaus? And yes, he definitely does have secrets. Yeah, see, I don't trust old werewolf grandma either. I think she has some stuff to tell. It kind of seems like maybe her and Jackson's been cooking this up for a while, somewhat. So it's kind of weird to me, but I'm sure we're going to get answers tonight. And then I'm also excited that we're going to be able to check back in with Rebecca at the asylum. I want to see whether or not she's going to find out her sister's there with her. I mean, this whole Freya storyline, like I've told everybody, is probably for me the most exciting one. I love anything that kind of concentrates on the original. So just to meet another original sibling is going to be great. So I'm kind of ready to learn more about it. Yeah, I think he's totally over hybrids too. Um, I think he realizes the pros and cons that kind of come with it, uh, especially if you've watched like all the way from like TVD. Supposedly some of them aren't as stronger. It was kind of easy for the saboteurs to kind of just, you know, kill them. So I don't know if like maybe with the making of them, it kind of gets diluted from down to down, which in all honesty, it would have been great if Haley just would have asked him a little bit more questions about it before she just kind of decided, oh, this is going to work. Because she also seen that as well, because let's remember, Haley was the one that pretty much sent the original hybrids from TVD to their death anyway, so she can get more information on her parents. So she knows all the logistics about making hybrids and going into it. What they don't know is what Baby Hope is going to be able to make, which is going to be quite interesting. Jumping ahead, I know there was a spoiler. I don't think it's this episode. I think it's the next episode. Basically, Cammy is going to be keeping Baby Hope, and she's going to figure something out about her. But I think that synopsis, I think that was for next week. So, which I'm excited. Yes, I'm with you, Ruthie. That Freya storyline is killing it right now. I love last week's episode, but at the same time, I was just like, okay. When we get back to Freya, I was ready. Yes, I keep thinking that too. The Witches of East End. When I hear Freya, ooh, and she was a very powerful witch in that one. I love that show. That show was good too. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, the whole misplaced loyalty he craved from his actual family. Going back, sorry, sometimes I'm just now seeing some of you guys questions over in the chat room. Yeah, I also think that I think for Klaus, the whole thing to make hybrids was, I don't think it was more or less um, a loyalty like from his actual family. I think it was more or less him just not being the only one. Um, I think when you kind of look at it, because regardless, even if he didn't have the hybrids and, you know, the family was back on track at that time and they were all together, he would still kind of be the outsider. He would still kind of be the different one. And I think that's where it kind of stemmed from. Like he wanted to make, you know, others that were just like him, you know, because he felt that kind of, you know, oh, I'm by myself. So I think that's more or less where that came from. And see, this is interesting that people bring it up because a lot of people think that Klaus and Haley, now since they're both hybrids and stuff, me personally, I don't know for you guys, I don't see Haley being a hybrid from Klaus. So I still see that is different. Hope turned Haley into a hybrid. So technically, that's Haley is Hope's first hybrid. So I still see Klaus as being like just one original hybrid because he hasn't turned anybody else into a hybrid since the show. Baby Hope actually did. Of course, she turned her mom. So I still kind of see it as different. I kind of see it as more of her and Hope have a connection that maybe, you know, we'll see once the show gets further and further along, because, you know, hybrids could compel each other. Well, excuse me, not compel each other, but they have like a sense of loyalty. So I don't know if they're going to dive more into that once Hope starts getting older. Is she going to be able to basically, you know, get her way with Haley because of that? So that's going to be interesting to see if they kind of keep the mythology the same. Yeah, I would be angry too if Baby Hope is like guys, seriously, I always mess that name up from Twilight. But in all honesty, like I think that's really the only way they really can go with Baby Hope. You know, I know you guys love the baby. She's so adorable and love seeing all the actors and the actresses with her and stuff. But essentially, to keep this show interesting, something's going to have to happen with Baby Hope. Like, she can't be 6 to 8-month-year-old baby forever. So something is going to have to, you know, happen to her at some point. That's my view on it. That's one of the reasons why when they first said baby, I was kind of like, oh, I was kind of scared, because I know with so many shows out there, people are going to start, you know, comparing it to Twilight. People are going to start comparing it to Charmed, when the kids like were babies and then they came back as adults or came back a little bit older. People are going to start, you know, definitely people are drawing the parallels from Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. So they're definitely starting to draw those now. And that's the only thing that kind of scares me about the baby plot. I've warmed up to it somewhat, but I'm still not 150% on board with it. I'm kind of going to wait and see what cool powers Baby Hope is going to have before I'm just like, yay. But before that, I'm still just kind of like, how's it going to turn out? So. Oh, thank you. Somebody said I'm so cute. Thank you. Yeah, I'd rather a time jump than rapid aging. The only thing that will happen with the time jump, which I know it's been still kind of one of the biggest things that Julie Plec has been asked anyway, is a crossover. And I think the only reason why, if you've noticed, they kind of done like the same kind of time frame time jumps, maybe a little bit behind or maybe one a little bit ahead. So it really hasn't been like a crazy time jump. I think probably for Julie Plec's sake, if she's later on down the line possibly thinking of a crossover, like one that, you know, fans want to basically have an effect in TVD verse and the originals verse, then she's going to have to kind of keep those at the same time. So I think if she does a time jump over there, she's going to have to do one in TVD too, if that's still a possibility that she wants later on down the line for both the shows to cross over. So I think that would be a cool angle to it as well, Jenny. Very cool. Because, see, I kind of liked it in Charm when they did that, when they did the time jump, or when they had the child coming back from the future. Oh, God, that was so amazing. So, but yeah. Yeah, they were pre-made. Hey, we got another one in the fray. Haha, hence the frayer. But yes, and so moving on to what was some of your like reactions to last week's episode? The originals, I think the originals is slightly ahead, but it was hard to tell because at the time that like I think they were pretty going neck and neck the first season, and then I think when they came back from the first mid-season jump, think maybe it was a small time jump, but it was also a time jump on TVD, but we never really did get a sense of if it was like a month or 2 months or 2 or 3 months. Like, we really didn't get a sense of the time on either show, because Damon had been gone for a while. Him and Bonnie had been all locked up, so it was kind of crazy. Hey, Linda from Team TSD, welcome to the chat. I say that too. If TVD only has one season left, they can definitely do a big time jump. They could, I mean, basically, if TVD has only one season left, they can pretty much do anything they wanted to as far as time-wise on that show. So I think that's a great point, Emily, to bring up too. So I think that will be, that could be a good idea. It's just so crazy. See, Baby Hope makes me crazy because there's so many possibilities there, and they still haven't really nailed down exactly what's the purpose of this child. What is, because in the first season we thought she was like the bringer of all death, like they were coining her to be like Damien 2.0, and then now it's something totally different. So I think if they just kind of give us a couple of like more direct things, which Julie Plague did say that was coming up, then I think that will be great. I think people will kind of really know. See, I was thinking that too, like one more full season of The Baby. Last week's episode, it was good. But yeah, I was like that too. I wanted the Freya storyline. I love my Rebecca. She's my favorite. And I'm so glad she's back. Because yes, besides Klaus, it's Team Rebecca for me as far as like the original. So I'm so glad she's getting back. See, I'm thinking that too. They will definitely be able to time jump after that. I think Finn's gonna find out about Baby Hope too. If they do it right, then possibly when he finds out about Baby Hope, he's gonna have to take his parents out of this like somewhat let me drain your energy coma and get them back on it, because he knows what's to come if Baby Hope is still alive. So I'm thinking that, yeah, I think he's going to find out. I don't think he's going to find out this episode, but I think he's going to find out soon. I don't think he has it in him either. I don't know about Esther though. She gave up her first child, so she may have it in her to go ahead and just X out Baby Hope, without a doubt. Yeah, it does seem weird. If you did watch the show, if you were introduced to the originals in TVD, and you're not just coming into it watching it now, it is weird to see the different faces. But they've done a great casting job, so a lot of them, have been able to embody these characters very well. But yeah, I can say sometimes you do miss originally how you sing them. So that's a good point to bring up too. So pretty Carolina is like a Team Finn right now. Yeah. See, Finn has a lot of back history too, and I'm ready for us to dive more into that. I think he's bad with purpose. Ha, Damon Salvatore. So, but I think he is bad with purpose, and I think that probably if they do a little bit more flashbacks, we'll kind of see why. So yeah. Yeah, I don't want them daggering any originals. I want all the originals on the show. No more daggering. Okay, knowing that Finn knows about. Yeah, he won't stand for the fact about her knowing. But it's pretty hard to say that too. See, Finn never really got a real chance to live. I mean, if you look at the history of it, he was in a box for like 900 years. Then he came out, and then boom, he was dead. Yes, she did already try it once. And see, that's why I'm thinking, if you look at the situation with the original parents, they're, I like to say they're still kind of like maternal instinct there, because they kind of hide things from their kids until it kind of comes up. So if you look at the situation, like we never really fully understood why she was trying to kill Baby Hope in season 1. And then season 2, we find out, oh, this is why, because she has a crazy sister that's going to come back and kill like all the kids. So I think that there's more to it which of course there is now since Freya happens to be alive, which we thought was dead. So let me see some more questions. You want her sister to kill her. Yeah, you know what? That's going to be a good showdown too. I think that's going to be an excellent showdown. I can't wait for it. That is one that I'm really thumbs up in already. I want to see it. Yes, an original will die this season. I don't want that. But I'm hoping that maybe it'll be, see, this is my craziness coming out, because I was thinking at first maybe it could be like a different original. Like maybe it could be, you know, I don't want it to be Freya, because, you know, if she comes back, then I want to know her. So I want her to be there. And I really don't want it to be like, I really don't want it to be any of them. So it's going to be a hard choice for me. Yes. Yes. He did make series regular. So I think he is here to stay too. And plus he's the oldest. He's a good kick in the butt for Elijah and Klaus. Yes. Esther is amazing. She does seem pretty ghost-like at this point. Maybe she needs to do some of the same things that like Michael and them did as well, like to get her full body back, or to get a body back to jump into it. That will be interesting to see. Very interesting. Trying to think what else. Did you guys have any questions? Since we only have, see, we missed a week and now we're all in here and we're all excited about talking about it and stuff, and time has flew by. So excuse me if my voice is getting high pitched. I'm still getting over my little crazy sinus infection. So it was hinted. A lot of people are trying to say that maybe it will be Cole. You know, we never know. It could be, they did say a original, so it could also be, you know, Michael as well, like really for good this time, since we do know that Sebastian's going to Once Upon a Time anyway. So it could be a lot of different ones. Yes, I do remember Finn and Sage. Oh, I shipped them so hard. They were so cute. I miss them. She was a good, yes, she was a good, cool character. And it was awesome to see just like a female from that time period kind of come within this time period. She kind of had the same effect on me as like Catherine. Like I wanted to hate her so bad at first. But then like when she got on screen and she started like, you know, giving reasons and stuff, I was just like, oh, I love her. So it like changed drastically. Yeah, poor Sage. She went out too. So yes, for that first episode, they were together and cute. That was awesome. I guess like coming into it, let's see. I really haven't heard any other big things. Yes. Dahlia's got to appear. You know what? I want them to kind of save that for the finale. You know, I know we're probably going to get like snippets of her before then, but it would be really cool if they did it. Yes, yes. I was just about to say that, Emily. It would be awesome if they did it like Klaus. If you guys never watched the originals in TVD, you have got to go back and watch. I want to say, and Ruthie and Linda are still in here too. I think it's season 2 episode, and it's entitled Klaus. That episode, like how he comes in, how he's introduced as a character on the show, they kind of did the same thing as with what they did with Catherine. Like they talked her up for so much, and then we get her. So I see they're kind of doing that now on the originals. And then it was just like out of nowhere, you know, you're thinking, they always talk about them, they're never going to show. And then it was like right before the season finale, boom, here's Klaus. And it was like, whoa, what are they going to do now? We only got 2 episodes left, and I'm about to really start cursing at my TV, Julie Pleck and Kevin, because I know you guys are going to cut it off. So if they do something like that, which I think it'll be around that same time period, then that's going to be great. That's going to be awesome. And she's definitely going to be top villain going into season 3. Definitely. Yes, I read that too, Ruthie, that they were casting someone else, and the original actress that played her, um, I follow some of her tweets, and I've seen her like tweeting it up, and I was kind of like, really? Oh my God, no, because I loved um, the girl that they had playing her, and I loved it. And I thought she had a great dynamic. I thought she had a great look for the part, everything. And then I heard that they were recasting, and I was like, oh my God. So maybe they're trying to recast it as kind of like a body jump and then still having her on hold to where, like, maybe if she gets her original body back, I'm hoping maybe they're going for that angle. Yes, the entire season 3 of TVD is a must. This is coming from Linda. It is. That's by far my favorite season out of TVD. I coin it as TVD season 3, the season of the originals, because that's when the originals really like came to the forefront. So I loved it. That's by far like my favorite season by far. Yes, Catherine's intro was epic. It was. And let's see, they had Klaus dancing around. Yes, wasn't that great when they had him dancing around in Alaric's body? It was so great. And I loved it because, like, they kind of came in with the body jumping, but it kind of like got wayside, so they didn't do it that much in TVD as much as they do it in the originals now. But it was awesome because when he had the decades dance, it was like not the 20s decades dance. No, it was the 70s one. He was there when he was in Alaric's body, and it was awesome. I love that. That was a great episode. Yeah. Going back to the time jump, I think that's what they're doing. I don't know if it's going to be older, um, or I don't know, but yeah, it is. Yes, yes. Season 3, Pretty Caroline are in the house. Yes, I have to agree that was the start of Caroline and Klaus for me as well. Um, I really like their dynamics, but more than less, like, my favorite character on TVD is Caroline. So more than less, I just loved it just because it gave Caroline kind of a detached storyline a little bit, and it really grew her character because I already fell in love with her season 2. So season 3 just solidified it, and I was like, oh, that's it. Caroline Stan, it's over. So yeah. Yes. You know what? That to me, and now since you guys bring it up, I hope a lot of you did participate in the Yahoo blog where Julie Plec um, asked questions and a lot of you responded back. They're supposed to be posting them on the 4th, I think. So if you guys, have a chance, I think they kind of stopped the cutoff, but if any of you had the chance to like really dig into it and do it, then kudos to you. Because I thought it was great for them to give that opportunity. And getting back to that, like that, because one of the questions was the biggest death for you. The whole Alaric death scene was very beautiful. You know how they all came into it after he was turned into the original, and he, wasn't gonna, do the transition, and he had time to talk to Elena. He had time to talk to, Damon. I mean, just the whole. If you ever have time to go back and see that episode, it was beautifully shot and still one of my favorites of like the whole cast standing in the graveyard. It was awesome. Yes, how many freaking events can Mystic Falls has? One every day. That's what it seems like, or at least every month. Linda asked, do I want Caroline to travel to New Orleans? I do. If I still don't know what they're doing with the whole storyline, which we'll talk about that. I'll send some stuff in on you guys' show for that. But I do. I think if they didn't kind of like hint at the storyline romance and all this stuff, yes, I'm sorry. But if they didn't kind of hint at it, I think it would have been great to kind of see her transitioning by the end of this season. If her mother dies, that's it. That's all Caroline has left. And one of the elements I kind of liked about, Klaus and Caroline was that Klaus was able to pick up on what she kind of had hidden Like, you know, she would settle for Mystic Falls because she's Caroline, and she would, you know, she would settle for it. She would want to be there around her friends and her family, and she would thrive. But I don't think she would really truly be happy. And Klaus was the one, which Candace Aciola brought this up in a recent interview as well. He was the one that kind of opened up that world for her to let her know that it was a whole world out there that you can explore. So it will be nice. I feel is if the characters, I know they love using that word organic, but I feel as though if the writers can write a decent storyline or a decent crossover to slowly start introducing her into the originals, then I think she could be a great asset. Because she could always be that person that either she could be good for Klaus or she could be terrible for him. Because she knows things about him. She knows his past as well. They have a history together. So, you know, it could be, is she going to come in like with her humanity off? Badass Caroline, kicking butt? Or is she going to come in? So I think it will be a great thing. You wrote a full essay on it? Yeah. It got lengthy, and Ruthie did it as well. Yes, because I always love that whenever they ask for fan participation. I did it as well to make sure that we do it because they want to know. And I think if they're asking for it, it's something that they're really, really interested in it. So, but it's 6:31 and we're running a little low on time. This has been great, by the way. Thank you, Ruthie. Bye. But it's been great, and next week it'll be a little bit better because we were a week behind, so we kind of like tried to slam everything in for this episode. But don't forget, which I know many of you aren't, that the originals is new tonight, 8 o'clock. Woo! I will be live tweeting along with others. Like I threw that in. But anyway, yes, I'll be live tweeting at the originals AAF is where you can find me. And thank you guys again for tuning in and coming into Instigator and hanging out with us. If you have time, like I always say, check out the site, put in some great predictions. All of you are like experts and awesome, by the way. So yes, put in some great predictions and stuff and get that going because everyone wants to win prizes and stuff. I know I do. So definitely do that. And also be on the lookout for next week because it is a new episode. So nobody's going on hiatus for a while. And I'm also going to be here as well. So that's going to be amazing. Yay. And hopefully we'll find out a little bit more about Freya. But thank you guys, as always, for tuning in and hanging out with me. I love it. And I will see you guys later. I will definitely see you next week for sure. And if you're hanging out and if you're in the hashtag, look for me again, and we can hang out there too and talk some more. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Bye.